This is Seasons of Discontent with your hosts Rick Snyder and Matt Combs on the Hogstye Network.
Welcome to Seasons of Discontent, Season 5, Episode 30, brought to you by Rick Snyder's Washington across all social media. And I'm Rick Snyder.
I'm Matt.
And we're back discussing all things in Washington life and sports as part of the Mighty Hogstye Network on audio and here on YouTube for video. All right, so you can see Matt's got a real patriotic background there. It's Veterans Day edition, everybody. So happy Veterans Day to all those that matter. And going to be a lot of great stuff Thursday at Arlington National Cemetery. It's going to be on TV live in the morning. So if you're out there watching, you'll see the reenactment of the 100th anniversary of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier being buried there. So kind of an interesting day for all that stuff.
Yep.
All right. So, man, Washington football team, we took a bye off, but things are crazy out there anymore. Well, I guess they didn't have, Blewett was their kicker until he wasn't. So Blewett's no longer their kicker after he blew it 3 times.
I was going to say, would you say Ron blew it?
Yeah. I'm going to miss that meme I used to put up on Twitter all the time of Adam Sandler going, you blew it.
Yep.
That. And they took a new one. They took a guy who's basically on his 3rd or 4th team this year. I forget now. I think it's his 4th. He's kicked a couple of field goals here and there, but he keeps moving on. Is he better? Well, he's 17 of 24 overall in his career, which is better than the last guy. So, okay, what the hell? When Norv Turner's last year, which was 2000, or 99. He had 5 kickers that year.
Yep.
And the 5th guy, they had to beat the Giants. He had to kick like a 53-yarder. He told Norv he couldn't do it. Norv's like, okay, if you don't complain and go out there and hit it. And he was like 10 yards short, and Norv got fired the next day. So kickers, man, will torment your soul. And I think I don't know if it was really Rivera's decision on Hopkins. I suspect not, to be honest. And Senator Rivera now has become a political animal and likes to, talk sideways about things and sidestep questions. And this whole kicker thing has just looked stupid from the start. Maybe this guy's be okay, but it's really giving Rivera a black eye.
Yeah, the thing, honestly, it goes beyond Rivera for me. When you watch a New York Giants game and Graham Gano's out there kicking 53-yard field goals, we watched Sean Sweesom with the Steelers for all those years make field goals. Now you look at Dustin Hopkins out with the Chargers making field goals. Like, this team has just never had. It goes all the way back. I mean, you can go back to Eddie Murray or
Chip Lohmiller.
Chip Lohmiller. I mean, This team has never been able to find a Pro Bowl level kicker. Like, you think about like the Raiders and all those years that they had with Seabass, Jankowski. You look at these teams that have had. Philly had I can't remember his name, but he kicked for Philly for years. He was a damn Redskins kicker at the time, and he played for the Redskins, not the Washington football team. The kicker has just never been a position that we can find. It's insane.
Yeah, I mean, Mosley was really good for a decade.
Yeah.
And then Miller was really good for something like a decade. And I remember the day they cut him, I was like, what? And I mean, they haven't ever really found anybody since him consistently. It's like quarterbacks and kickers have just tormented this team. So we'll see what happens next. I mean, I don't think it's going to come down to the kicker against Tampa on Sunday.
No.
But we'll see. And then quarterbacks, my gut feeling is this is Taylor Heinicke's last chance. He played well against Tampa in January. Okay, go ahead and let him try it. See if maybe he's just got their number. Go ahead and try. But if it doesn't well, I think Kyle Allen is up the next week.
Yeah, I'm with you on that too. I feel like this is the Taylor Heinicke redemption game to see if he can, do what he couldn't do in January and beat the Tampa Bay Bucks. But yeah, I got a feeling that if he if we go out and put up a stinker against the Bucs, it will be Kyle Allen's job for the rest of the season. And then I know they talked about Fitzpatrick today going to get an MRI. So, maybe there's 1 or 2 games of Fitz as he rolls out, for the end of his career. I don't see it happening either. But yeah, I think honestly, it's probably Kyle Allen's job for the rest of the year unless he gets hurt.
Yeah, they said Fitz has been slow to heal off of everything. Well, only has 2 more months. He was supposedly going to be back about now. So if he's slow to heal, he's not going to want to come back and play last 2 games or something. He's going to retirement.
Yeah.
God bless. $10 million for 20 minutes work. That's the American dream.
I believe I'm the same age as Fitz. Isn't he about 39 years old?
Yeah. I mean, he's at the end of his career anyway. This was last stop.
Yeah.
So you don't need him to play the last game or 2. For what reason?
Well, look, all I know is if I roll out of bed the wrong way, it hurts all day. I can imagine that he's slow to heal and he's a professional athlete. So, call it what it is. This was going to be his last stop anyway. This was going to be his ride off into the sunset year. He just thought maybe he could get, a one good season and maybe groom Heinicke a little bit more, kind of like he was doing with Tua and all them. But it's funny. I don't even see Fitz on the sidelines. Like I would expect him to be on the sidelines.
No, not been around. I mean, sometimes with rehab players, they come in early, like 7 a.m., do rehab, and they're out of the building. It's almost like they don't want them around. Not particular, but injured players. I don't know if there's rules about you're on injury reserve. You can't go to meetings. I'm not sure what the rule is on that. But yeah, they're on their own there.
The biggest miss of Fitz this year is that we missed him at the podium, I think.
Yeah, he was Heinicke's been okay. But Fitz was an older guy that could, talk some, more perspective. But Taylor's been fine. And Kyle I've talked to, he's fine.
I meant more of Fitz's personality.
I remember back in minicamp, Taylor Heinicke and Kyle Allen were running across the field to get to the next drill. And they decided to race each other. And they were hell-bent to try and win, and Taylor beat them. So when they talk about Kyle's, faster or whatever, no, he's not. Taylor's faster, but Kyle has a better arm.
Yeah.
I'll say that, But they want Taylor to be Taylor one more game. Well, if he hadn't gotten into stupid game manager stuff and getting his head, that's when things fell apart.
Right.
That's the nuts. Now they're playing Tampa Bay on Sunday at FedEx Field. I expect about at least 75% of the crowd to be Bucs fans, on this one. Tampa's got its injury problems. AB's not going to play. He's still on a boot. Gronkowski's not going to play. Man, he's been out like half the year for them.
They only need, but Gronk is only there to play 4 games. At least 3, maybe 4th if they need that wild card game. That's all he's there for.
Listen, Washington's thankful he's not playing because a player like Gronkowski kills Washington.
Oh yeah,
they still cover a receiver or a tight end out of the backfield. So I mean, Tampa's down a few players. That might keep the score a little closer. Washington's getting back. Looks like Sam Cosmi will be back, but Curtis Samuel's not coming back. Logan Thomas isn't back. They don't have Diami Brown. I don't know for that one. They're still down a lot too. So
yeah, I think the injury report today said that Sheriff, Cosmi, Diami, William Jackson the third, I think they were all a go at practice. Logan was on the side field catching balls. And I know Curtis Samuel was out there yesterday, but not at a full go. Why won't they just put Curtis on IR and let him go get the surgery? I mean, clearly his groin is not healing with time. It needs to be operated on.
For the same reason they didn't want to cut Blewett right after everybody said, why were you waiting a week? Ron has just become a guy that doesn't want to have to admit defeat on bad decisions. So he delays things. He's made a lot of mistakes as the GM of this team.
But, it's funny. He's kind of conceded to some bad decisions by the lack of playing time for Jamin Davis.
Yeah, there's another mess up. I mean, there's a lot. All the offseason moves pretty much haven't worked out very well this year.
No.
Yeah. Kyle Smith's not around for him. So, they had to make their own decisions, and he's got a team of people who believe the same way the coach does, and so you all fall down together on these things. But and defensively they've lost Montez Sweat. They wouldn't admit it for a week that he was out because they didn't have to do an injury report until now. But he's got a fractured jaw and he's on a limited diet, so it must really be bad if they don't even want him eating that much. So what do you think after missing 4 weeks on a liquid diet? What's he going to have left?
Nothing.
He's going to be drained.
Yeah.
I don't see him again, maybe the last couple of games, but I mean, I know him. He'd want to play, but you might as well say he's gone for the year. So that brings up James Smith-Williams, who I think has flashed a little in the preseason, the last game. Has potential. He's not as good as Sweat, but he has potential. Casey Tuhill is going to get some time on this, but I mean, it's not the same thing. But then again, defensive ends haven't done very well. So, how much worse can it get?
Of our draft picks, would you say that Cosme is probably the best of the bunch?
Yeah, there's no doubt. They got themselves a nice right tackle. That's great. I think Benjamin St-Juste is going to be a good player. He's just going to need a little more time.
I think he needs a little bit more seasoning.
Yeah, Jamin Davis, I don't know what to say about that. I don't think he's going to be what they were hoping.
Yeah.
It can be okay. All right, it'd be nice if he was okay, but that's not your first round pick. So, yeah, they're still working. I don't know. I still see Tampa winning by a couple of touchdowns, and maybe they don't blow them out because they'll have it measured. It's sort of like Green Bay didn't really blow out Washington until the end because they had it all. They had it measured the whole game.
Yeah,
kind of thing. So
yeah, it's just funny with Jamin Davis. You look at what the Cowboys did with Micah Parsons, and everybody was calling that a reach, and he's turned out to be a pretty damn good player for the Cowboys this year. You just kind of wish that that's what Jamin Davis was going to be because they were hyping him up.
I don't know who was bad-mouthing Micah Parsons. I thought this guy's a baller, and I'm not surprised at all. He was, Penn State linebackers, they don't usually stink. That's one of the guys you want.
We know that firsthand, and he was the third overall pick for us.
Yeah. Crazy. One last thing. Virginia elected a governor. Thank God I don't have to watch those TV ads anymore. But,
yeah.
Oh my God. We live in Maryland, so we don't care.
Yeah, exactly. I don't give a crap about Virginia's politics.
Like, please just pick a guy, whatever. So they picked Glenn Youngkin won. Either governor was going to say, hey, to the Washington football team, come build your stadium here.
For sure.
So therefore, the difference is DC's got to reelect its mayor, which they probably will in next November. And then Maryland's got to change governors because they can only do 2 terms. So Hogan's out next November. So I'm not sure Maryland can really come to the table with a deal next year where Youngkin can. Virginia's desperate to have a major pro sports team. I think it gives them a little bit of an edge just because Youngkin can cut a deal and Maryland probably can't. And DC's not going to anyway.
Well, and honestly, it's a good trade for Virginia if they do. I know the One Loudon site is probably too built up at this point now, but there are plenty of areas that they could find in Virginia, and I think it's also a good swap with Virginia too because you build a stadium in Virginia. The new thing is to have your practice facility right outside your stadium. You look at like what the Bucs did when they built their new stadium. When you look at what the Patriots, their practice facilities right there at Foxborough. The stadium's in the shadows of your practice, so you can give up the Washington football / Redskins park area down in Ashburn, sell that to a developer. You bring in more revenue for the town of Ashburn, and then you build your new practice facility out there where the stadium is. It's a pretty good deal for Virginia.
Well, as a Maryland taxpayer, I wish them well, so I don't have to pay it. And with that, we're out of here. I'm Rick Snyder.
I'm Matt. Happy Marine Corps birthday and happy Veterans Day.
All right, guys. See you.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Seasons of Discontent on the Hogstye Network.